Hi, my name is Jo Dumbleton and I'm an independent Scentsy consultant here in the UK. Today I'm going to show you how to make these wax samples. They're small little wax fragrances that you can hand out to customers so they can experience and smell what Scentsy is all about, and believe me, it is wonderful. So you will need to start with some wax paper, which we have here. You'll need an old saucepan, a spatula, not necessarily a Scentsy one, but any sort of spatula, a honeycomb mould. You can buy these online, but should you join my team, then I give you as part of your welcome pack so that you're raring to go right from the off. And you will obviously need a bar of wax. So your wax bar comes in eight segments. Now you will only need 3 segments to make samples, or enough samples to start with. Now you could use the whole bar, which would fill up the whole of this tray, but I make 2 lots of different fragrances in one go. So I would just take 3 of these cubes. Today we're using Mediterranean Spa, which is a really popular one and really does make people go wow. So I'm just going to break the cubes up and just pop 3 of these cubes into my saucepan. And that will be enough to cover half of this tray. So I'm now going to take it to my stove and just melt this wax. Okay, so I am now gently melting the wax. I've only got the cooker on really low, and I'm just going to heat it slowly. I don't want to heat it up too quickly, because if I did, it would start to smoke, and actually the smell would be quite nice because it's too strong. So it's just gently melting these wax cubes. Hopefully you can see that they are melting very nicely there. And once they've all melted, then we'll pour it into the moulds. So now the wax is melted, I'm now going to pour it into my honeycomb mould. Now just pour it into each individual mould, rather than just pouring it over the whole lot. Doesn't matter if some of them aren't completely full, because I'm just going to use the spatula to spread that out afterwards. And I'm only going to fill half of this tray, as I say, because I mean that's plenty. Nearly there. Okay, so that's all the wax now out of the saucepan. And this mould, by the way, is actually sitting on the wax paper. That's it. So if any should spill over, then it will just sit on the wax paper rather than on your work surface or something where you don't want the wax to be. And you can just pick it up. So now I'm using my spatula just to spread it out evenly so that they're nice even samples. And that's all there is to it so far. And because Scentsy wax is only melted at a very low temperature, it's not going to take very long to solidify at all. Now I'm just going to wait now for those to go off. It will only be a few minutes, and then I am going to pop them in the freezer for 5 minutes. That just makes them go extra hard so that they pop out of the mould quite easily. So I will be back with you in a minute. Now to clean the saucepan, all I've done is popped it back on some heat on the oven, and just to make it melt again, and a kitchen towel, and just wipe round, and that's all there is to it. I wouldn't use this saucepan for food again, but if you did, it wouldn't really matter because it's a food grade wax, so it's not going to kill you. But obviously you'll have the fragrance there, which might contaminate your food, and which wouldn't be very nice. So that's all you need to do. Right, here's my samples then, and I've just taken out of the freezer. They have literally only just been there a few minutes, but that's enough to make them cold enough so that they're just going to drop out of this mould. Let's hope anyway. So onto my wax paper, just tip them up. This is a hard mould. Just bend it, and they all should pop out quite easily. There's that one there. There you go. So you've got a nice clean mould now, and here are all your samples. Now what I then do is, for all my consultants that join my team, is I will also send them a pack of these little plastic Ziploc bags that I use, and I also provide them with a template so that they can make their own labels. Now I just print these onto a piece of card, so I've got a whole sheet of the labels there, and I cut them up with a trimmer and to make them into small little ones like that. So basically you have a little bag like this. I then put the sample card inside so they know which fragrance it is, and pop a sample in. And of course, because they're quite cold, they're easier to handle, they're not going to melt in your fingers. And there you go, you have your samples. Now I will put some information regarding where I get my bags from and that below in the details, and also where you can find me on Facebook, and also if you wish to buy the products or have a look and find out more about Scentsy, I will put my website on there as well. Okay, thank you.